To all who come to this happy podcast, welcome. This is Planning the Magic, the podcast where we discuss all things Disney vacation planning. I'm Jake.
And I'm Alma. And in today's episode, we're talking all about Aulani, a Disney resort and spa in Hawaii. Now, Aulani is such a beautiful destination. Jake, I know you've visited a few times. What are some of your favorite things about Aulani?
It's paradise. It really is. I mean, it combines two of my favorite things, which is going to the beach in Hawaii and Disney. And it really is just an absolutely wonderful place to go take a vacation. And you can do as much or as little as you want while you're there. But no matter what, it just feels like you're in paradise. That's the only way I can describe it. It's amazing.
Yes, I agree. So beautiful. And I know a lot of people are like, Disney, Hawaii? What do you mean? I didn't know there was a theme park in Hawaii. And it's not what you think. It is a resort destination. And they're really true to the culture, the Hawaiian culture, but also have a really fun Disney touch. So it's a really beautiful and unique resort to visit.
Yeah, I mean it's not Disney in your face. It's a Hawaiian resort with a touch of Disney and the Disney level of service. And they do have the characters and all their Hawaiian gear and everything, but it's not really like just all day everyday Disney. It really just feels like a relaxing Hawaiian resort done by Disney.
Yeah, and that was really important to Disney when I was learning about Aulani when I was there, is to make sure that they had a large representation that was Hawaiian culture focused, with a little splash of Disney. So I think they brought that out really well in this resort.
Yeah, they did an incredible job with it. And Disney, they always talk so much about the storytelling aspect of everything they do. They always think of themselves as a storytelling company. And really they're telling the story at Aulani of just the Hawaiian culture and the stories of those people. And it really, they did an amazing job of getting to the roots and doing it respectfully but then just adding that little Disney touch on top of it.
Yeah, so when it comes to deciding when a good time to go is there a preference for you? Or do you feel like any time is a good time?
So before we started doing Disney vacations, really at all, but even pre-kids, my wife and I would go to Hawaii every December. And it was perfect. It was kind of just starting to snow around here, getting cold and dark and rainy, and it felt like just the perfect time to go to Hawaii. And it's also kind of fun to see Hawaii at Christmas time because it's just you're listening to "I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas" and it's all palm trees and everything. But so we love going that time of year. But really, Hawaii, just about anywhere you go in Hawaii, the temperature is pretty consistent year round. It's just pleasant no matter what. So there's really not a bad time to go.
Yeah, agree. It's beautiful there. Recently, I visited at the end of February. The weather was warm, a little bit more on the mild side, a little bit drizzly, but nothing to complain about. I mean, you're still in Hawaii. You can still, it's not too cold to enjoy the pools and the beach. So I think weather wise, there's not really a terrible season to visit. What about crowd level?
I mean, anytime you're talking crowds, you kind of just think around the school schedules. So those summer breaks, spring breaks are really going to be the popular times. Even over, Christmas will be pretty busy. But it's not, obviously they can only handle so much in the hotel. So it's not like a theme park where there's, thousands and thousands of additional guests beyond what's staying on property. There's just going to be who's staying on site. So it's never going to be overly crowded.
I agree. In the area in general, um, if you're thinking where Aulani is located, it's in an area known as Kolina. So there's four or five major resorts there that sit on the lagoon. They all share the lagoon space, even though they each individually have their own sort of beach area. And I mean, the resort was booked out when I visited in February, and it didn't feel as if it was booked out. So nothing was ever overcrowded, to the exception of there was only one sort of adult hot tub area, and that kind of got crowded at some times. But for the most part, nothing seemed too busy. There are some activities that you kind of want to make sure you get your name on the list if you want to get it done in the day that are on property. Um, but other than that, it didn't feel too busy on a day where, or a week where it was a booked out property.
Yeah, and you mentioned that the area that it's in. It's you fly into Honolulu. It's in the Honolulu greater area, but it's not the busy Waikiki touristy. It's a really, really kind of quiet community. There's some condos in the area. There's some townhomes, and then a handful of resorts and a beautiful golf course right across the street too. But it really is this kind of quiet, away from the hustle and bustle of all the touristy areas, which really helps it feel a lot more relaxing too.
So Aulani is pretty unique. It is a DVC resort, so Disney Vacation Club Resort. So I would say half of the resort is DVC rooms. The other half would be the standard rooms that you could book through the site. So let's talk about the different sort of room types that are available. Like I said, there's DVC rooms and there's standard rooms. Like, what's the difference? What kind of room options do we have? And, can we book those DVC rooms if we're not DVC members?
Yeah, so, it's gonna start with just the traditional hotel room, the, 2 queens or a king size bed, just like you'd find in just about any other hotel. And then, of course, there's gonna be the breakdown between the ocean views or the pool view or the parking lot view sometimes. Just they have the different price levels for everything. And then you're gonna move up into those suite levels where you're gonna end up having, a larger living space with a kitchen and a washer and dryer, which I personally love having those. It makes a huge difference. Um, and you can get all the way up to, a 3 bedroom grand villa. That's, if you're taking the whole family, it's definitely a great option.
And they're beautiful.
Yes.
I toured the 3-bedroom grand villa in February, and it's incredible. So much space. The balcony wraps through the whole front of the building. So the whole room is facing the ocean. And you just have that. If you're wondering where all those marketing photos for Aulani come from, I'm pretty sure it's from those 3-bedroom villas. Like, that's the view that you're getting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But even, we stay on the 2 bedroom villas because I go with my in-laws and we take the whole extended family. And it's so much, it just feels like this apartment basically that you're staying in. You got tons of space, a whole kitchen area, um, and a nice dining area that you can all kind of sit around and have a nice dinner together. But you're still going to get great views no matter what. It's still Hawaii. It's still going to be, no matter what side of the building, whether you're oceanfront or facing the golf course. Or sometimes we even had a luau view one year. So we didn't have to pay to go to the luau. We could just look down right from our balcony. That was a lot of fun.
When we stayed, we were in like it was a poolside view. So we had a view of the lazy river and then also a little bit of the ocean. So that was really nice. It was a little bit noisy during the day, but I mean, once you close that door, you couldn't really hear much. So it didn't bother me at all.
It is still a family resort. There's going to be kids playing and splashing around, and you're going to hear that if you're facing those areas. But it's not anything where it's obnoxiously loud or anything like that.
Yeah, and speaking of that, it's a family resort. What options are there for families of 5?
So I mean, there's speaking room terms, you definitely have those villas and or the 1 bedroom suites that are great for larger families that can really make use of that space. And one thing about Hawaii is food is more expensive there, and so it's really nice having those kitchen areas where you can go to Costco or Target and fill the fridge and prepare your meals back in your room. And they have all the amenities you need inside those kitchens. Nice to just sit around and have a
Yeah.
nice family dinner together at the end of the night.
I mean, when we say full kitchen, it's really a full-sized kitchen. It's got a full-size fridge, stove, oven, everything you need, all the plates and cutlery and cups
Rice
and
cookers and toasters. Yeah,
yeah,
everything.
everything. There are barbecues on site too as well.
Yeah, I'm a big barbecue and grilling fan, and so when I saw that, I was pretty excited to run across to the market across the street and get some steaks for dinner one night. I thought that was a lot of fun, and they'll give you the tools and everything you
Yeah.
need to grill.
Yeah, and speaking of the market, I mean, you're not just on a resort property. It's about 5 minutes away. You can walk to the Starbucks. There's some food spots over there, and there's the market, of course. And it's got so many options in there.
The
So,
ABC store that's popular in
yeah,
Hawaii, yeah. They also have a a cafe style or a lunch line style food in that ABC store that has both breakfast and lunch and dinner options with some of the best food I think I've had in Hawaii. Especially the ube pancakes for breakfast are like the favorite thing I've ever eaten.
yeah, that's a good pro tip.
Yeah.
I have to try that.
Okay, so let's talk about what there is to do once you get there. We've talked about the rooms. You've mentioned the pool and the ocean, but what else is there to do?
I mean, speaking of the pool and the ocean, there's like sand kits that you can check out and knee boards for free that you can check out just at the beach there. So lots of things to play around that are included with your stay. There's also around the pool, there's the reef area where you can do a little bit of snorkeling and look at the fish.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun to go check that out. And with the ocean on the beach, it's a protected lagoon. And so they have breakwaters and I think they even have nets where nothing, no wild sea life is going to be coming in. So it's anything like that. And the water is like bathwater because of it. It feels amazing swimming in there, and it's nice and calm, and you don't have to worry about anything, which is so much fun.
Yes. And there's a lot of other activities that you can do as well. We did some mini ear making. We made some mini ears. They were light up mini ears. That was a really fun activity.
And they have like
And then they
the
have,
plumeria flowers that you can add to it and everything, and make it Hawaii themed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was so much fun. And they have the Menehune Trail Adventure, which is like this little tablet that you take around with you and you follow
What
these
is a menehune?
interactive. Yeah. What is a Menehune?
Everyone's like, "What? What did you just mena? Who? What?"
I mean, I don't know all the deep culture background of the Menehune, but they are these they're not characters. These
So
little guys that you can find throughout the resort.
so in Hawaiian folklore, they are these little. They're essentially like gnomes. Like when you say like, "Oh, a gnome took it," they're these little mischievous creatures from Hawaiian folklore that you will find little tiny statues of. They're maybe what, a foot and a half tall, um, and there's two or three hundred of them around the resort hidden. And so one of the fun things to do, no matter where you are, is to try to find the menehune. Sometimes they're in the corner, in the top corner in the elevator, or they're around the lazy river, just hidden behind the bushes. I asked cast members there if they've found them all, and most of them say they don't even know where every single one is. So it's a lot of fun to.
Yeah.
It's just a fun thing to do. But then they have the trail where you can actually go through and they light up special features.
Yeah. Nobody really knows the true number of how many Menehune are at the resort, but you know, people have tried to count them all.
And they're hard to find sometimes. You really got to spend some time looking for them if you want to try to find most of them.
Yeah, sometimes I've walked past a place so often I thought, and then I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was there.
Yep. What about the ukulele lessons or ukulele? Did you try the ukulele lesson?
Um, I did as part of the luau experience.
Okay.
So before the luau, there's a few like pre-activities that you can do as you like get all settled in. So we did a little bit of ukulele lessons. Oh, I can't remember the name of that famous like taro root kind of dish. Poa? Poa?
Spacing on
Do
it
you
too.
know?
I know what you're talking about. I'm totally spaced on it though. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. It's like a white paste. Anyways, you learn how to make that. And then we also made some um lays for little bracelet lays. And yeah, it was fun. A lot of fun activities before the luau.
Yeah, that whole luau experience is they really it's not just, sitting and watching the show. It's a whole experience, complete with a great dinner that, you know, I'm all about that, we know.
Yes, the food is good. If the kids get a separate little like a children's box, so if they don't feel very
For those
adventurous
picky
to try
eaters,
the
yep.
buffet, yeah, they get their own little child box. But the luau, well, since we're talking about some activities, the luau is a really fun thing to do, and it's so immersive. The storytelling, so everything is just so perfectly told and laid out and is just really fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah, they did such a good job with that show. The other thing you mentioned is the kids club. They have a kids club
Right.
on site, which is really cool. You don't find that at a lot of resorts.
No, you don't. And I mean, I believe the youngest age right now is 4. So they go 4 to 12 and they do 3-hour time slots. And there's lots of stuff to do in there, lots of games, different storytelling areas. And they have, of course, their outdoor area and they have activities going on throughout. But then they also have some premium activities during the day. So, like premium sort of meet and greet experiences, perhaps. You'll just have to look out for them. Those are sort of in pay extra, but there are 3 time slots during the day that are free that your kids can go and you can head out for dinner or somewhere else and do some adult time.
Yeah, yeah, they do an amazing job taking care of the kids in there. There's different rooms throughout the Auntie's beach house, and there's video games and crafts, and Stitch will come in and play with them sometimes, and they'll do some hula lessons sometimes. Yeah, they make it a lot of fun for the kids.
I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with the Disney Kids Club.
No,
We were just talking about kids clubs on the cruise ships. So, I mean, I think Disney really knows if they really know one thing, it's kids clubs, how to entertain kids. So
yep,
they have that down.
yep, keep the whole family happy. Yep.
Yeah. So, other than the activities and stuff that they have at the resort, there's also some shore excursions per se that you can call them like you would on a cruise ship. You can book sort of excursions from the resort for like a day trip, or there's a bunch of options. Have you done any of those
We haven't.
through
We're
Disney?
definitely just the hang out at the resort people and play in the pool and the water. And, but I've definitely looked at doing like the horseback riding up in the valley there. That looks like a lot of fun. I know that's pretty highly rated.
Yeah. Next time I want to try, I can never remember the name, but where they film the Jurassic Park films,
Hmm.
uh, something ranch. I don't want to butcher
I
it,
know.
so I won't.
Yep.
I won't butcher it, but I want to see, like either the ATV tour where they go and to all the filming locations. I want to try that. So, I mean, excursions are easy to book on your own, but they have that extra layer of Disney safety and you're comfortable. The Disney bubble is what I always call it.
Yes.
You're in the Disney bubble. So if you're booking an excursion through Disney, you're in a good spot.
Now, do you think you need a car to go to Aulani, or even for part of the
I
time?
wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. That's a hard
It
one.
is.
I guess
I
it
agree.
really depends on what you want to do. Like, are you going to want to stay at the resort and just hang out and relax? But the cool thing, you can actually rent a vehicle just for the day right at
Yes.
Aulani.
Yeah, they make it really
So,
convenient if
I
you just
mean,
want to do a
yeah.
quick day trip or something. You don't have to get a car for the whole time. You can, just get a shuttle to the hotel from or the resort from the airport, and then just get a car for one day if you really want to go up to North Shore or around the island at all.
Yeah, so I wouldn't necessarily book or rent a vehicle for the entire trip just because, well, one, Aulani is not a low cost destination to visit. So
It
you
is,
want to definitely get your money's worth on property. But you also want to see a few things outside of what excursions are available. So yeah, I think renting a vehicle maybe 1 or 2 days of your trip, that option is available to you. So I think that's a really good thing to do.
yeah, for sure. What about food on site? You know, I'm all about my food.
Yeah, well, there's lots of options. So, quick service. Um, I'm trying to say quick service. There's only the one quick service
There
option.
is, yeah.
Am I correct?
Actually on
Yeah.
site, yeah, just the one kind of snack bar.
Yes, they have some really good breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Um, Lots of things to choose from. Some great like snacks to grab, and there's also those refillable mugs there. So you pay a cost, and you'll have your refillable mug for the whole trip. So you can have your coffee, your
Yeah, there's a few
soda.
soda stations around the resort that you can fill up at. Yeah.
Yeah,
They have good pizza there too. That's one of the other ones I really like. Well, good.
they do. I did have their flatbread. It was delicious. And there's a couple actually snack little kiosk. There's one snack kiosk over by the pool. There's some chicken fingers and
Coconut
I can't
shrimp.
remember what else was there.
Coconut shrimp
Coconut
is
shrimp,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's our go-to. And then of course the shave ice. You got to get the shave
Oh
ice,
yes. I
and it's
mean,
even with the
you
Mickey ears and
must.
everything. Yeah, it's
You do have to pay $1 to get those Mickey ears,
worth
but
it. Totally worth it.
worth it. Why not?
And then there's two really nice restaurants on site too. So there's
Makahiki and Ama Ama.
Ama. There it is. Yep.
So Makahiki will do that character breakfast in the morning. And then they have more of a signature dining experience in the evening. Yeah.
And you've been there more recently than I have. It's is it back to buffet? During the
The
pandemic, they shut down the
character
buffet
dining,
for a little bit. Yeah.
the character dining is still family
Okay.
style. Well, not family style, sorry.
Individual. Yeah.
Individual options.
Yeah. I think they're trying to get back to the buffet when they can, but
Yeah, Hawaii was kind of one of the last places to open up after the pandemic was declared over. So I think it might take them a little bit more time to open up those sort of buffet style options. But the set, it was like a set menu. It was pretty good.
yeah. Yeah, we really enjoy
Yeah.
that. And then Ama Ama is a great spot to go get a nice dinner, especially if you drop the kids off at the kids club and go have a little date night. It's a great spot overlooking the beach and the ocean.
Yes, it's a good spot. I'm not a fan of the dinner. I definitely don't think my children would like it either. It's very unique. It's a unique experience. It just was way out of my comfort zone. So I, I'm
Yeah, we're
sorry
definitely
if
a little
you
more low
really
key too.
enjoy
Yeah.
Ama Ama, but yeah, it just wasn't for me.
Yeah. You definitely, I guess, kind of have to know what you're getting into with it. But yeah,
Yeah,
but it's good. It
I'll
is really
just
good.
forewarn you, don't, spend the money on the kids to go there
No.
because I don't know. I don't know, guys. And then Off the Hook is almost like a pub style food.
Yeah.
If you want to compare it to anything, they just recently opened up for breakfast again. So I didn't have a chance to try the breakfast, but I did have like lunch and drinks by the pool there. So it was really good. Solid meal choice. But anything on the resort is going to cost you a little bit more money. So there is some options across the street, or of course, like we said, if you have that suite, you can cook in your room and whatnot. But we went to Monkey Pod, which is a really popular
Yep.
restaurant.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Delicious, yeah, and they have like happy hour prices, so you can go and save your dollars over there. But lots of food options around, I think.
And it's all delicious. Yeah. You're going to enjoy it no matter where you go, I'm sure.
Yeah, and Off the Hook offers kind of like a mobile order pickup. They have like a mobile order pickup window, so you can order off your app and you can pick up your food and bring it back to your room or your pool chair or whatnot.
Yeah, it's a really nice option that they offer there too. The other thing I know my wife really enjoys is the spa, hitting up the spa at Aulani. Because,
Yes.
if going to Hawaii and just relaxing on the beach isn't, relaxing enough already. You get the rainforest room and the whole spa treatments, and even my daughter went and got her nails done, and they had a nice little spa day together. So
Yeah, that's the thing because, not a lot of places offer, mom and daughter things, which is something that a lot of people look for. And they actually do like, they have family massages and, you can get the whole family in there. So a lot of really good options. And they do have like a full service, like spa. So nails and massage and facials and any sort of treatment you can think of, you can get there. And then there's this outdoor area that you can experience with whatever treatment you have booked. If you come in 60 minutes beforehand, you can go and enjoy the jacuzzis, the outdoor showers, the outdoor space, and just enjoy some tranquility.
yeah, it's a really nice. I mean, it's literally in the name, Aulani, a Disney resort and spa. It's the full
Right.
title. So yeah, they really did a great job with that as well.
Yeah, and over by the spa is Painted Turtle, I believe it's called, which is the sort of bippity boppity boutique of Alani. So the kiddos can get their makeovers done there, and it's cute. It's a cute spot.
Yeah, yeah, they do a great job there. One of the other things I was just remembering too that another fun activity that I really enjoy that they do is sometimes they do movies, outdoor movies under the stars on the same uh, luau area, and then they even do sometimes like stargazing talks, and in the evening, and they do a lot of fun, really late into the night, a lot of fun activities for the whole family.
Yeah, and they have the stories by the campfire, which is also really fun. So there's something going on all day long. And, you know, that we always say this, the app is going to be your best friend. And it really is. It's going to tell you everything that's going on during the day. It's going to tell you where character meets. I don't even think we touched base on that. That's
I was
another
just going to
thing
bring
you
that
can
up. Yeah,
do. That's another thing you can do. The characters are going to come around and you can meet the characters, but that's all going to show in your app. You can see the schedule, where they're going to be and when. And, if you're not sure where that location is, a cast member is always happy to help you find out where that is.
they'll give you some of that aloha vibe, and yeah, take care of you. The really cool thing with Aulani too, with the characters, is you're gonna see the Fab Five, but they're gonna be in their Hawaiian gear. They're gonna be dressed like they're going to, dressed for Hawaii. But then there's also some of the other characters that you'll find at the Asian parks, the Tokyo and Shanghai parks, the Shelly Mays and Olus, and if you haven't been there, you're saying who? But they have, because they do have a lot of Japanese and Chinese tourists that come to Hawaii, they actually have those characters there as well, which is really cool.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the best gift shops I've seen
Yes.
in my Disney life.
Spent way too much money there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I got.
Speaking of all those different sort of characters that they have, and I think there's 6 different spirit jersey options that were there when I was there, and like 20 different sort of Hawaiian vibe mini ears, and it's just so
All
much,
the
so
merch.
much merchandise. So when we're thinking about Aulani and we're thinking about a relaxing Hawaiian vacation, do we need to think about planning an itinerary? Like, how do we strategize an Aulani vacation? Just because we're always strategizing for other Disney
Right.
vacations,
There's
how do
so
we
much to plan with
plan
like Disney World or
Aulani?
Disney Cruise. Yeah, I really don't think you need to do nearly as much planning for Aulani. Uh, besides figuring out when to go and how you're going to get there, but um really, I think it's kind of a you know your family better than we do, and it's, if your family likes to be go 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 and seeing lots of the touristy spots, then it's certainly an option. There's still all the you're only about half an hour from Honolulu and Waikiki. You can still get down there and enjoy all that. You can drive around the island and go to North Shore and see the surfing up there and get the original shave ice truck stop up there. But you can really make it as much or as little as you want it to be. So it's really going to be up to your family and what is your family's preference.
I agree. I don't think there's too much planning in advance that you need to really do other than, when you're going to go and what room you're going to stay in. But just highlight those must do's for your family while you're planning in advance and fitting those in within your days. And then I think once you're actually at Aulani, just playing it by ear is probably a good way to go. Other than if you're wanting to do any sort of specialty dining. So that would need to be booked in advance. And that's kind of what you would think about beforehand. So if you're hearing us talk about these restaurants and you're wanting to make sure you get a character dining experience, you got to book that in advance.
But they also don't it's not
And
like, the parks or something where you need to be on right at the day it opens. There will be availability probably even a week or 2 ahead of time. You can still call in and get that done.
it's possible. And that's the thing, you have to call in to book that. Maybe in the past it would have been more difficult because in the past they were allowing, even if you weren't staying at Aulani, you could do that character breakfast, but you can't do that anymore. So you have to have a reservation at Aulani in order to book those dining experiences. So that kind of cuts down the competition level there.
Yeah, and even the pools and everything, I see people asking if they can go check out the pools even if they're not staying on site, and they're exclusively for hotel guests, so that definitely helps cut down the crowds.
Right, and they give you a pool bracelet, so each day is a different color, so you can't really scam your way into the pool.
Our family loves to collect the, different colors every day, and I have, like, a bag somewhere of, like, weeks and weeks worth of bracelets because it's a collector's item for us.
I like to guess what color the next day is
Mhm.
gonna be. Wish I could give people a visual of that, but yeah, they give you a different colored pool bracelet every day, so they know you're not sneaking into the pool when you're not supposed to be. But that being said, if you're checking in early, if you're checking out late, you still have access to the pool, whether you're early or late. You just got to get your pool wristband, and you have it for the day.
And I believe I haven't actually used it, but I believe there's actually a, like, kind of a changing area and a kind of a almost waiting lounge for those people that are, you check out of the hotel, but you don't have a flight till later in the evening, that they have a spot for you to kind of go hang out and get ready for the pool
Yeah,
and everything, which is really nice.
we actually did use
Did
that.
you?
Yeah, so we reserved it in advance for the time period that we wanted. And they just give you a key to get in. And we ordered a pizza. We had pizza in there. There's some change rooms, showers, everything you need. And yeah, there was nobody there. So
Perfect. That's amazing. Yeah,
it was good.
I wish more places did that.
I agree because, you know, how are you going to get ready after you go to the pool and then you have to go to the airport?
I always find myself, like, when I'm coming home from, like, Disneyland, I usually catch, like, the last flight out of the night. I'm just like, well, if I'm flying home that day, I might as well make it a park day. And so I'll just catch the last flight. But then I'm all, sweaty from being in the parks all day. And I wish I could just go take a quick shower, before I sit on an airplane.
That would be nice. It probably has a lot to do with that, most of the flights do leave late in the evening.
Yeah, there's a lot of
A
those
lot of
red
us are
eyes.
taking those red
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah, unless you're on the West Coast, you're typically gonna be taking a red eye home, unfortunately.
Yeah, speaking of long journey, it's a big time zone change for both coasts, whether you're coming from the West Coast or the East Coast. I think it's about 6 hours for East Coasters um, of a time
So
change.
Aulani doesn't do daylight savings time. So during
Right.
standard time, it's 2 hours from the West Coast, 5 from the East, and then during daylight savings, which at this point is most of the year, they're an additional hour behind us.
Yeah, so I think in February from the East Coast, it was a 6-hour time difference. So that was a struggle in the evening, you know,
Yeah.
trying to stay awake. But I was up nice and early at 3, 4
And
a.m.
you're going to get some amazing sunrises and sunsets there too. So being up early is not necessarily a bad thing to go down to the beach and catch that sunrise.
And actually, that's a thing that we should mention too is that, things kind of close up and die down pretty early in in the day. But do you have that same
Yeah,
feeling?
I think in general, Hawaii is kind of a early to bed sort of culture. I think, yeah, a lot of times. I mean, you're going to find your bars and nightlife anywhere, any city you go to, but in Hawaii in general, I think it's a lot more kind of wrapping up a little earlier than usual.
Yeah, the pools close early. Uh, I don't even think they make it to 10 o'clock. I think it's 8.
I think some of the pools close at 8. I think one or
Yeah.
two of them is open till 10, 9 or 10, but
It gets quiet. It gets very quiet early on. So something to note if you're a night owl, but with that time change, maybe you won't be.
yeah.
I mean, you said in your last episode you really like to sleep in on your Disney park days. So what about Aulani? Are you up early?
Uh, a little early, but not too much. We're still sleeping in a bit. Fortunately for us on the West Coast, and like I said, we usually go at like Christmas time, so it's only a 2 hour difference. It's less than going to Disney World for us. So it's even a shorter
Okay.
flight. So that's why we go there more.
Yes. Us on the East Coast are not jealous of your trek to Hawaii at all.
No, of course not.
Yeah, and that if you're up early, the specialty coffee there, the macadamia nut latte, you got to get that. So good.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite thing at Aulani?
I mean, besides like a pina colada or
A pina colada?
yeah,
Is that what it's called? The one with
the,
the
the,
strawberry
the lava
inside?
flow. Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
so good. No, I mean, it's all good. You do get that Hawaiian, the Kona coffee there too, which is fresh and delicious. Yeah. I love it. That's it. I'm booking a trip right now.
That's it.
Yeah. We're going.
That's it. Going to Hawaii.
You've talked
If
me
you're
into it.
on Yeah, if you're on a Disney cruise, we were just talking about Disney cruises. If you're on a Disney cruise to Hawaii, uh Aulani, there's you can actually get discounted rooms if you're on one of those sailings. So, fun fact.
The land and sea, yeah. The surf and turf adventure, yeah.
Surf and turf adventure. I mean, Aulani's just seems like a natural add-on to a Hawaiian Disney cruise.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you.
Yep.
So in conclusion, is there a theme park in Hawaii?
No, there is not.
No,
But there is
there is.
Disney.
One thing I will note that I noticed was very heavy in Aulani is the DVC membership sort of spiel. It was kind of very in your face.
Really?
So I felt like that.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it might be different. So we actually are DVC. That's our home resort.
Okay.
So maybe I just don't notice it, or maybe I'm just excited to see him because I'm like, yeah, I'll take more DVC points. Sure. Like, this is great.
Yeah. So there is like that a timeshare aspect to it. So, like it's not like one of those resorts where you go and they're like, come and see our timeshare and they like bamboozle you into buying a timeshare. It's not like that. They're not pushy. They've never been pushy. It's always you're willing and you want to go check out what these rooms look like. But I just feel like it's almost like they're wanting to convert you right
Now
away.
that you mentioned it, yeah, I do. I can think of like 3 different spots like around the resort where it's like I know I'm always going to see a DVC cast member, at least out there. Just they got the Mickey hand, they're waving, but just their
Yeah.
presence is there. Yeah.
It's fine, and like I said, they're not salesy or pushy or anything, like that. It's very present there, so it's something that I noticed as a non-DVC member.
All right. Well, I think that just about does it for this one. Do you have any final tips or final piece of advice?
I mean, I think it's gonna generally just enjoy every minute. Some people are worried about not having enough to do, and I'd just say to you to not worry about that and just enjoy the beach, enjoy the pool, enjoy the resort. There's plenty to do, even if you don't want to go on any excursions. So I wouldn't be worried about anybody getting bored. My child has never gotten bored in just a general swimming pool in general.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to leave the Disney park to go to the
Yep.
swimming pool. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine your child getting bored of the swimming pool, but if that happens, there's plenty of things outside to do as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many options too with the pools and activities that you're not going to be bored if you're looking for something to do but want to stay on site. Absolutely. I'd say my biggest tip with Aulani is to remember that, while Hawaii obviously is a US state, it at times almost does feel like going to another country. And that even comes down to kind of the culture there is they definitely have the island time and just the aloha vibe, which is great, but it sometimes you need to pack a little patience with it. It's they're just on a different schedule out there, and you just know that going into it and just have a little just kind of go with the flow and have some patience with check-in processes, and it's just a whole different culture.
Awesome. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to join us in our Facebook group where we're chatting all about Disney vacations and how to plan them. So if you have any questions, you can catch us in there.
And make sure you like and subscribe everywhere that you find podcasts. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and of course the Facebook group. And we'll catch you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
See you real soon.